Number 7. It's actually another French word, but Anglophones, English speakers, don't think of it as a French word. But it is the word for these things. You've probably seen them before. You might think this is a woolen hat, a wool hat. In America, they might call it a beanie. But my whole life growing up in Canada, I never heard those words. The only word I heard is toque. So this is a toque. So because Canada is very cold, you might have heard, we often wear these in the winter, or in the fall, or in the spring, or maybe in the summer when there's a random snowstorm. We have a lot of snow here. You'll definitely need a toque. Another common spelling is like this, pronounced the same. The official spelling is toque, but a lot of people spell it that way as well. All right, number 8. So we talked about how different countries will use different terms. Another big one that might surprise you is football. So I know football is very popular around the world, but when we say football in both Canada and America, no one is going to think of the game that you play with your feet. They'll all think of what you might call American football. So the game where it's mostly used your hands, we call that football. So this is football. So what do you call football, you may ask? We call that soccer. Terrible drawing, but you know what I'm trying to do. This one is soccer. Number 9. This is another thing that we do very different than other Commonwealth countries. So technically we do use the metric system. So that means meters, kilometers, kilograms, grams, all of that. But there are a few areas where we do not use the metric system at all. We use the American imperial system. A couple of very common areas for that would be talking about height and weight. So if you tell me that you weigh however many kilograms and you're 160 centimeters tall, I won't even be able to picture it because we use feet and inches as well as pounds. Feet, inches for people. So I would say that I'm 5'11", not, I think that would be 180 centimeters, about that. We wouldn't use that. So number 10, very related to our last one, we do still talk about lengths, big lengths in the metric system. So our speed is kilometers per hour. I'll say that the Tim Hortons down the road is 3 kilometers away. Or I can also use a short form for that. I can say it's 3 clicks away. Click or click. That is our short form for kilometer. So if I want to get a double-double, it's very handy that there's a Timmy's only a click away. All right, number 11. You're going to get a few terms for one here. So the word that is Canadian is called parkade. So a parkade is what in America and other countries they might call a parking garage. I'll write that one as well. So a parking garage in Canada, we'll usually call it a parkade. And all that is a commercial, multi-level parking place. So if you go to a mall and you can park somewhere underground or somewhere where there's covering, we need a lot of covering because we get a lot of snow here, we call that a parkade. Now if you're parking somewhere outside, so there's no covering and it's a commercial place, we call that a parking lot. So we use the term parking lot all the time as well. That one's used everywhere, but that's a non-covered parking place. Parkade and parking garage are both covered. Parkade is the Canadian term. You won't hear that in America. One last note, we do use the word garage by itself, but that only refers to specific houses. So if a home has a 2-car garage, we don't use the word parking. We just say garage by itself. All right. That brings us to our last word. Last but not least, it's only 2 letters, but it might be the most iconic Canadian term. Usually with a question mark, A. Easy as that. So it's not a real word, it's just an interjection. And what it kind of means is, do you agree? Wouldn't you agree? Right? So for example, maybe I go to Tim Hortons, I'm at Timmy's, and I get the new birthday cake, Timbit. And I might say, oh, these Timbits are great, eh? That's like saying, they're great, right? That's great, wouldn't you agree? And we'll say A at the end of everything and anything. Another close one, we use hey in the same way, especially here in the prairie provinces, so Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, you'll hear hey a lot. Like that double-double at Timmy's was perfect, hey? So that wraps up my 12 common Canadian terms that you'll hear probably almost every day when you come to Canada. Hopefully you'll be here soon. So as a review, our 12 terms were loony and toony, double-double, Timmy's, short for Tim Hortons, a Timbit, which you get at Tim Hortons, pop, not soda, poutine, francophone, anglophone, a toque, soccer versus football, remember the differences there. Remember that we use feet and pounds when we're talking about people's weight and height. Click is our short form for kilometer. And a parkade is our word for parking garage. And last, but of course not least, A, because we're Canadian, eh? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. If you have some extra questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I'll help out Zia there, use my Canadian knowledge. And hopefully we'll be seeing you again. Palo takben, tono